TV. Mute your TV.
Yeah. So let me say this to you. I want to say a couple of things. It's good to talk to you, Hood, again, and everyone else in the chat. You know, I sent you something, Hood, yesterday, and I don't know if you got a chance to see it after I spoke last night, but I sent you something about Papoose responding to Remy Ma's video. And if you look from this number that, you know, I normally call on, you'll see that I sent you. Papoose did a video. And, you know, I can't talk as long as I usually do because I have some finished work I got to do tonight. But I want to say this to everyone. I love what your other two guests just said. But, you know, as I think about it, you guys have got to listen to Papoose's response to Remy Ma. It was about an hour or 2 hours long. And I'm going to just break down some things that he said very quickly. He said when Remy Ma was in jail, she used to call him all the time that she was upset. He said in the video, I'm not trying to say that I was perfect while she was in there. He said, but I had made some money. He said, so while she was in jail, and I thought about this when he said it, he said, I was taking care of my, taking care of my kids and her son. And he said, who was paying the bills during that time? He said, there was some money coming in from her, from lean back and stuff like that, but it wasn't a whole lot of money that's going to pay the bills for everything. So he had to pay a lot of those bills. And when he said it, it made some sense because she was in jail for 6 years. So while she's in jail for 6 years, and this may be an unpopular opinion, I have no alliance to anybody, okay? And I don't care for Claressa's mouth. So I ain't no Claressa fan on that level. But he said, I had to pay those bills. He said, and so by the time she got out, he said there wasn't a lot of money left. And if you go back, Remy Ma was in an interview when they were doing Love and Hip Hop. She said they were working for he was working for TuneCore. He had a job. He was working for TuneCore. So she may have paid some of the money for that in vitro because he was begging for a child, but he was also paying some bills too. To really look at this from a strategic point, there was a point where I'm skipping over everything. You guys I sent you the YouTube video, so Hood, if you do want to look at it or share it with the group here, you can. It was interesting because I'm saying all three of them got something going in this, and when I mean that, there's one version, everybody's version, and then there's the truth, and only they know the truth. We're all speculating. But when it comes to Papoose is quiet. But when a quiet man speaks or a quiet woman speaks, there is some truth in there somewhere. Now, Remy, in that video that Papoose did, he played a video of Easy the Block Captain in that video that's been circulating for the last year in Instagram, where Easy the Block, it was a video, he played in the video a conversation that Papoose taped of him with Remy Ma. And Easy the Block Captain seemed to be blackmailing Remy Ma, saying, I'm going to put out everything of our relationship. And in it, you can hear Remy Ma saying, well, excuse my expression, fuck these, you're putting me in a bad position because it's going to either be Papoose's people saying, fuck Papoose or fuck these niggas. That's what she said to Easy the Block Captain. So he was literally also blackmailing Remy Ma. But Remy Ma did have this, did play on Papoose based on this video, and it was, on this conversation that Papoose played that recording. And if anybody remembers, Papoose did have a fight with Easy the Block Captain. He knocked him out. He had a mask on, and it was all over the news how he went in and knocked the guy out. That's when things really started very bad between him and Remy Ma. So we don't really know what the situation is between him and Remy Ma, because that was about 3 years ago when she started the battle, whatever she created. Now, he said, also Pap said, when Remy Ma came out, there was no money. So a lot of this stuff that he said in that video makes sense. Now, over to Claressa. Claressa, what she did, the way she did it was wrong because it said that she went to Remy Ma, and I think what Remy Ma was upset is because her her and Pat may have had an understanding after the Easy Block Captain. Now, also in that video from the Easy Block Captain, Papoose played that recording. She wasn't even sometimes taking care of her daughter. Papoose was taking care of the daughter at different times because Remy was staying over at Easy the Block Captain. So there was some stuff going on there between them. Husband and wife stuff. So to me, that's none of our business, but it does play a part here where Papoose may have thought, well, if I'm going through that, taking care of my child, and she's playing, then I don't know why she's upset with me talking to somebody here, or maybe he was using that to get back at her, Remy, at the time. But now you got Claressa coming in, playing the game of looking in Remy Ma's face at a boxing game, and at the same boxing match, and at the same time saying, where did you get your clothes? Where did you get your hair? Where did you do this? Where you do that? Right? Now, Claressa comes around, and the bottom line is, Claressa's doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that. I don't think Papoose is giving it to Claressa to say all these things the way we think. I could go into some music industry stuff, and I don't want to do that because that can mess with my life, and I don't want to get involved with that.
Well, give us what you can without messing up your thing, because you say.
So if anybody knows, that lady that was just talking about, the music industry has its stuff with, you know, where people do things and they give up somebody they care about and throw them to the wolves, so that they're what do you call it? So that they can move up in the ranks. And I think that's what's going on. They both want to move up in the ranks. Now, Remy Ma has been through a lot, and regardless of who is wrong or who is right between her and Papoose, I think at one point they were angry with each other and they would have gotten back. I don't think Papoose was as in love. And I know Claressa's in here listening, okay? But I don't think Papoose was as in love before, and maybe even Claressa wasn't as in love. But I think they saw as they came together, we could do this, we could do that, we could do this, we can do that. Now, Claressa's not worried about K. Scott, and if I were her, honestly, I wouldn't be too worried, because it's an easy thing for her to knock this woman out. Yeah. Now, like you said, if she gets past those 3 rounds, she's okay. But in the music industry, our industry is weird, because if you really want to move up, especially now with the way things are, and just like the gentleman told you, Hood, that you said you know in hip-hop, anything today is okay.
Yeah, now, let me ask you a question. No, because you're saying a whole lot. Now, you sound, I don't know if you are familiar with everything that's going on. It seems like you're missing some pieces, but are you up to speed on everything, or are you just getting bits and pieces? Because you're saying a whole.
I'm not saying everything. No, Hood. When I go into delve and do research, I'm not even trying to do research. It comes up in my algorithm.
Okay, you just saw something and you're talking about it.
Right, but and when it comes up in my algorithm, I go look further. So I'm not just talking all over the place. I listen to that Papoose video. And when you listen to that Papoose video, it answers a whole lot of questions. If you listen to Papoose's response to Remy, and then Remy's original video, Papoose's video, and then Remy's response, you get their whole relationship on what went down.
Well, I mean, I listened to some of what Papoose said. I listened to that months ago, just a couple of minutes of it. I listened to what Remy said, and I have a tough time, if you say, yo, bet your life on her being honest and him being honest. I ain't betting on anything, because only the fly on the wall really knows what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's why I agree with you, Hood, all the way. That's why I said it's like the 3 opinions and then the truth, which means Claressa's, Papoose's, and Remy's, and then the truth. And at the end of the day, it's really their home business. But what I will say is this. Claressa's got something up her sleeve. She said more is coming. I believe she set everybody up to do all this talking. I'm skipping over. I know I'm skipping over a lot. But I do believe that Papoose, because the reason why I was going back to something in December 2025, Remy was doing the Remy network, and she had on this coat, okay? And this coat is only bought from one place here in New York. This guy does it for all the stars.
Right. We know about the coats. And what do you...
Right. Well, that is it. Right. So that's when I think he wasn't really into Claressa as much, and he was really starting to show. Either him and Claressa have an understanding or whatever the case is. But right now, at this point, that woman is in control. Everybody may think that Papoose is behind it. He can't tell her but so much. I'm going to say that right. That's my belief. I could be wrong. That's my own personal opinion. She's doing whatever she wants, saying whatever she wants. She doesn't give a shit. And Papoose is sitting right there saying, well, she don't give a shit. I'm going to ride this coattail to the end, because like they said, any kind of news is anything. And the funny thing is, this sounds like an off thing, but it's not. That Oprah talked about a thing today. Whether you like Oprah or not, she brought up something interesting today with a guest she had. We have all stopped being caring towards one another. Social media, everything, has us not being connected with one another in a positive way. So I think that also fuels someone's brain like Claressa's, who wants that attention, needs that attention because she didn't get it from her family. We don't need to analyze her. It's straight up. She didn't get it from her family. And fighting is the conduit in which she uses to get her anger out. Now, I think Pap knows what he's doing. There was a woman that you had on one of your videos that talked about, like you said, we're all grown. Talked about eating the punani. So,
yeah, licking the coochie. Okay. Yeah, what do you think about that?
I really feel that she was on point. Look, we're all men and women here. I'm going to say it straight. If your husband or your boyfriend is doing that job, you are all up in the sky with that husband. And when two people come together, those juices flow together from a spiritual aspect, from an emotional aspect, a mental aspect. We start out saying, oh, it's just light, it's nothing big. But the woman who's more emotional always falls. And that's why she keeps saying, my man, my man, my man. And he's got her where he wants her. But I also know that he's not stupid. He can't control that woman. He cannot control that woman. When Claressa gets the way she is, and if anybody ever studies the way she boxes, they will notice that when it gets closer to the event, she's a manipulator too. She will do whatever she has to do to mess with her opponent's head. She'll put out things. She'll tell people off. This is what she does. She's always done it. Pre-him and pre-Papoose and after. And I think that when she went to Remy, she saw something in Remy. I'm going to say this. The girl can't rap. I'm sorry. And today, anybody will take any music because we don't have the safeguards in music like we used to, like the Stephanie Mills, like the Big Daddy Kane, and all of these people, or Katy Perry and all of these people. We don't have those people in place. They consider that the old guard. But let me tell you something to the new artists, y'all don't know what music is. You're sitting there using AI and other stuff, that ain't it. And bitch this, bitch that, bitch this, bitch that, shows you're disconnected from who you are. So that is what she's getting into. She also had a sparring thing today.
Yeah, I give you another minute to wrap up. I got to take some more calls, but go ahead.
I'm sorry. So what I'm all over trying to say is, y'all think that, oh, she's this and she's that and that. Do you know every time we have a conversation every night, she's leveling up, she's leveling up, she's leveling up. And we can say what she wants, but she is leveling up there, okay? She is leveling up there in that photo shoot. And that Cam Newton, I was wondering where it was. Oh, no. I had a gut feeling, but I wasn't sure when I was talking to you. Let me just say this part, Hood. She took all of that with Cam Newton. She has it set for probably this Friday. And she's going to be surprising us with things that she's leveling up on that we thought and said she was stupid here and she's stupid there. The girl ain't stupid. She used all of us to get her talking about her all the way over to the senior citizens that people were talking about. That's what's happening here. I bet my money on it. And we are being silly because she's playing everybody just to get in them seats. And I'll leave it there, Hood. And just, I'd like to hear, Hood, before I get off, your thoughts. I really want to know your thoughts.
Well, I really don't have too much opinion on anything except I'd be surprised if Claressa has huge opportunities and sponsorships coming her way because I do believe when with her situation as far as her relationship that gets frowned upon. The fact that she's not likable. A lot of people aren't. At least this is just my opinion for what I'm seeing. They aren't really attracted to her personality, and I don't think many brands would want her to be an extension of them because that's what it is. I think they look whole person concept. You apply the whole person concept to Claressa, she crashes and burns. Now, as far as if she's getting a lot of attention, yes. Does that mean it's good? I say no. But I don't know. I'd have to wait and see because no one's been able to name me one celebratory moment since she hooked up with Papoose, except for the supposed $8 million deal with the $3 million signing bonus. Outside of that, there's nothing. So I'm still sitting here in a holding pattern, waiting to hear that. Okay, now look, I told y'all so. Look at me now. It looks like everybody else is moving beyond her. All that talent she has as a fighter, because she burnt bridges, she didn't network, she didn't understand. Even though she was told by Layla the importance of her branding and not burning bridges, it seems like everyone else who are less talented are moving beyond her. But if she announces something this Friday, I guess we'll all see, okay, well, we were wrong. Nike's behind her, or there's a movie coming out with her. She's with Tyler Perry, or she's doing this. Like, right now I can't see it. But if so, we'll talk about it.
Well, I thank you because I have a feeling that it's going to be a lot of what you said is correct. And Remy Ma, if you listen, you go to Tyler Perry too. Thank you and have a good day, everybody.
All right, we'll talk. All right, bye. Yeah, hey, I let people call in and say what they want, but no, I'm starting to want. I ain't gonna say that, but I'm curious now about some of the calls that come in here. You know what I'm saying?